And I have to tell you, Mark, it's been something I've noticed just since I've gotten sort of more clear-eyed on Israel, that a lot of the anti-Muslim rhetoric that's put out there originates with people who are very, very pro-Israel, who kind of need us to demonize them. And
Right.
I've taken a look recently at my own rhetoric on this to say, like, have I been manipulated? I want to make sure I'm not getting manipulated.
As an ex-Muslim who speaks against the ideology of Islam regularly, there was a lot more that I wanted to say about Megyn Kelly's statement than what I had said in my reel. So I thought, what the heck, let me make a YouTube video. And I want to preface this by saying that the focus of this video isn't to convince anyone to be pro-Israel or anti-Islam or any of that. Although I do hope that it may at least raise some red flags in the minds of those with opposing views. But really the focus here is to shed light on just how dangerous and reckless this type of narrative is. That when you put into people's minds that a lot of the critiques of Islam that they're hearing is simply a pro-Israel propaganda tool used to manipulate them, because Israel apparently needs us to demonize the Muslims, you are putting multiple communities in harm's way. And let me break that down. If the listeners who listen to Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson and all of them believe this and internalize this, they will make an enemy out of Israel and Jews, let's be honest, based on this false supposition. And why wouldn't they? In their minds, they're thinking, wait, you're telling me that Israel and the pro-Israel crowd are just out there lying about Muslims and just making up this rhetoric to demonize them? And not only that, now they're turning to me and they're trying to manipulate me into joining them to do this very scummy thing? Wow, these people are evil. It cements the notion that Israel and anyone who supports them is the enemy. And it reinforces the idea that this blue star of David actually represents lies and deception, and anything tied to it should not be trusted. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's a tool that they can use anytime that they want the populace to reject something. You find a way to tie it to Israel. It's like those red stickers that say rejection on it that are used at quality control centers and they're put on defective products. But now it's the flag of Israel, stamped on ideas and people you disagree with. And that's exactly how Megyn Kelly used it when she said that a lot of the criticisms of Islam actually originates with the pro-Israel crowd. And I want to make a quick note here. She actually said it's anti-Muslim rhetoric, assuming that the rhetoric is actually about Muslim individuals, the people. But listen to what she said just 5 months ago.
We stop the immigration from countries who do not share our values. I have Muslim friends. It's nothing against them. Their individual, friendships are fine. They as individuals are fine. But Islam is not consistent with the values of America, of the West.
See, then she was very careful to qualify her statement when she said that the United States shouldn't take in more Muslim immigrants. And she said, it's not about the Muslim individuals themselves. Many Muslims are fine people. But it's actually about Islam, the ideology, and how it's not compatible with the West. And she was correct in saying that. However, fast forward to now, and when she wants to tie it to Israel, now she's switched it up. No, actually, this is about the people. It's an anti-Muslim narrative. These people are bigots and xenophobes. When you tie these two together, one, Israel is the enemy, and two, any anti-Muslim rhetoric you hear is coming from the enemy and shouldn't be trusted. You're now dragging another community in harm's way, those who are oppressed by Islam. See, in the minds of the people who actually believe this nonsense, if they hear, for example, Iranian women and their outcries for freedom from Islamic oppression, well, I think that's just going to fall on deaf ears, no? Because that could just be waved off as Israeli propaganda. Calling out the Muslim grooming gangs in the UK? Nah, that just has to be a psyop by Israel. That's not real. Nigerian Christians being persecuted by Muslims? Just more propaganda from Israel. Apostates like myself exposing the apostasy laws and Sharia law and the immorality of Muhammad. No, he's just a Mossad agent working for Israel. It's so convenient. It's almost like it's by design to shut down any criticisms of Islam. Sounds familiar?
Remember what Christopher Hitchens said? You know, they're going to make up this term Islamophobia to shut us down. And that's by design. There's no such thing as Islamophobia.
Well, Megyn, that's because you've relabeled it now from Islamophobia to manipulative pro-Israel rhetoric. And this is where I want to propose something. You know, I want to make it a point of my videos to try and have some call to action. So I'm not just here talking about the problems without some kind of plan to solve it. So, to the ex-Muslims, and I'm speaking specifically to the ones who are Christian now and are using their platforms to witness to Muslims. A very niche group, I understand. I know many of you choose not to speak on the Israel-Palestine conflict, and I get it. It's a can of worms, it's Pandora's box, and it shouldn't be opened. And you're already in enough danger as it is for being open about your apostasy. May God preserve you for His glory. And not only that, you've already taken on more than you can chew trying to argue theology with these Muslims. And so the easy thing to do is to remain neutral or even still harbor a little anti-Israel sentiment like I did, to keep that buffer between you and this hornet's nest of a conflict. But I'm telling you now, that buffer is quickly shrinking. Because unfortunately, the Megyn Kellys, the Tucker Carlsons, and the Candace Owens of the world are using the stigma against Israel and against Jews to delegitimize our voices. This nonsense that any criticism of Islam is actually just some psyop created by Israel to control the masses will take wind. And it's our duty to stand against that. But I'll share with you why I believe this is a good thing and why I believe it will help you and me in our ministry. See, we hear it all the time, right? That we need to meet non-believers where they're at. Why are you on TikTok? Well, that's just because that's where all the Muslims are at. And I'll take it a step further. We know that by nature, Islam is political, right? From its genesis, it was meant to be this dominating political force. So why shouldn't we use that same logic here? That if the mind of the Muslim is centered around politics, I remember mine was very much so, and I could only imagine it's increased these days. Why don't we meet them there? And what greater political conflict to engage in than the Israel-Palestine conflict? And now look, I'm not telling you that you need to be pro-Israel to do this. I'm just saying that this conflict is as nearly as dear to every Muslim's heart as their holy Quran. And I'm willing to bet that if we begin to expose the holes in the narrative of this conflict, like what has already been done with the Quran, it will be just as detrimental to their faith. And it'll open up an opportunity to win their hearts over to Christ. My friends, thank you for taking the time to listen to me. If you'd like to support my work, you can do so by clicking the Buy Me a Coffee link. All current contributions are going to converting the 6-foot by 8-foot shed that I have into a studio office so that I can focus more of my time on this work. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this video with anyone who you think needs to hear this. And God bless you all.